most intense. The most horrifying. It's in your blood. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. The nightmare continues, only from Capcom.
For some of you, this ad is a display of nostalgia. Others, like myself, it is nothing. There are things that some people from my generation could potentially recognize. Of course, it's a Resident Evil game. Jill is literally right there in all of her polygon glory. I'm getting ahead of myself. My name is Brandanaa. I was born in the old 03, so this game is a fair amount before my time. Maybe this is something my fellow Gen Zers could agree with me, but I get that some of us are well and truly starting to feel old.
Grow up.
I mean, we are reaching our mid-20s. I myself turning 23 quite recently. Lately, video games have been rising in contention for becoming new modern-day art forms. With the times in AI, it can be quite rough trying to find somewhat acceptable art. Ahem. Looking at you, Tong Sahur. The point is I'm trying to make. We live in a world where the internet, social media, and of course, AI can slowly start to erode our minds. As a rapidly aging kid in this more and more tech-filled world, I find myself saying, when do we ever catch a break? So I set myself out on a mission. In the sea of god-awful games, all-time classics, and modern-day masterpieces, I went back in time when things were simpler, when games were art. This is my series on Game Over Time, and welcome to my experience with Resident Evil Nemesis.
Resident Evil.
Whoa. I guess to add a little bit more about me, I am not a huge Resident Evil gamer, nor a gamer of any series really, except Pokemon, Mario, and Zelda. Yes, I am a Nintendo kid. I'm also mainly a League gamer, with godlike orb walking skills. I peaked in flat. League was a lot of my life when it comes to gaming, so exploring video game franchises was quite a recent thing for me. The first Resident Evil game I played was actually Resident Evil 5. Only playing it this year, and yeah, I'll just roll the clip.
Oh, I have an idea.
Bro!
That wasn't my idea, by the way.
Okay.
It went the wrong way.
Okay.
Not being serious.
Though Resident Evil 5 was my entry, I was exposed to it quite a lot. Let's plays, memes, clips, you name it.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
With Resident Evil 9's release just a couple months back, it was kind of destiny that at some point I was going to play a Resident Evil game. But why 3 and 5? I'll get to around 5, but 3 was notorious for absolutely being butchered in the modern era as a game that could have been. Everywhere you go, Resident Evil 3 Remake sucks this, that, and everything under the sun. So I was quite intrigued that the original was revered so highly. Thus, it became my first point of call in my journey to go back in time, a game over time, if you will, to see what it was like at simpler times. As you can see, this game was played on my Steam Deck through emulation. This was your bog standard playthrough on hard mode. And let me tell you, I got my arse and teeth kicked in by this stupid, dumb... Okay, as I was saying, this game is extremely tough. For me at least. I guess I have technically played tank controls from when I played on mouse and keyboard through Resident Evil 5. But this was a whole nother level. It had taken, I want to say, days to get used to this. I genuinely started having hand cramps from playing through a controller. Though the controls were a bit hard getting used to. It didn't stop me from playing the rest of it though. And what a treat it was! So, to begin my playthrough, I guess I can explain the game a little bit. This game has 3 distinct sections from what I've seen. The main city section, the clock tower section, and then finally, the factory section. I will try my best to keep this review spoiler free, but you have been warned. Chapter 1. The main city. First things first was the main city portion of Raccoon City. I've got to say, I was pretty happy with how the environment looked like. Zombies padded everywhere, and I only had a few measly bullets to my name.
Aliens, they will know my power. I need more bullets! I need more bullets! I need more bullets!
Coming from the action-filled Resident Evil 5, my most natural instinct was to absolutely blitz through the mobs of zombies, before quickly finding out that ammo
I need more bullets!
is the money in this game. This must have been insane as a teenager in the 90s playing this game. But let's talk about the first hurdle I had to overcome in this game. Dun dun dun! The feared tank controls. Man, oh man, did I struggle with this thing. I must have died over 20 times just trying to get out of uptown and into downtown. But eventually, after mindlessly crawling into the basement and trying my absolute best to grab the lighter fluid to burn the rope which connects both downtown and uptown areas, it felt like finally progress was being made. It only took like 10 million increments though. Somehow. I gotta say, at this point of the game, which is literally supposed to be like 30 minutes, I was tapped out. I had abandoned the game. Something about the jankness of OG Resident Evil was calling back to me. And after a day or so, I was back in. I had slogged my way through the hordes of zombies, picking up anything I could find, and made my way down to the RPD. Then I had my first encounter with the main man. Man! I'm sorry, but that polygonic bundle of pure hatred was something I instantly feared. As soon as I seen him, I had completely forgotten how to control Jill with the tank controls. His presence had instilled fear into my damn bones. So after dying a couple times trying to fight him, I just completely given up and made my way through the RPD. This corner right here is the GOAT! The GOAT! I love the amount of resources I had inside the RPD. It was like I was rich! Millionaire! Millionaire! Eventually, Plowing through the section with the trusty shoddy, I made my way up to the offices upstairs and made contact with my buddy Carlos. Carlos, I feel like, has a bit of a bad rep within the OG Resident Evil 3 community.
Wait, I have to ask you something.
I know. You want to ask me out? All the foxy ladies love my accent. It drives them crazy.
What?
Although I can see where people are coming from, having him around was such a huge help and served as my pillar for confidence in that game. You gotta remember, you only see one other person that is alive at this game.
I'm sorry about your daughter, but there isn't gonna be any rescue. We have to get out of here.
No! I'm not going anywhere! I'd rather starve to death in here than be eaten by one of those undead monsters! Now leave me alone!
And that sucker is hiding in a damn trailer. So I don't care. Carlos is my go. No further questions. After establishing contact with him, and in my case, acquiring the revolver, I made my way down and... oh god, oh god, oh god. Yep. Just run. No further words. I will say that the experience of this game, by this point, was really great. I'm enjoying every moment so far. Even the moments with him.
I fear no man, but that thing... it scares me.
The final hurdle for this section of the game is to grab a couple of things to start the cable car to proceed the next section of the game. There are three. Yes, three main components. The first is an item called mixed oil, the second is a power cable, and finally third is the fuse. Now, I haven't really been going into detail about how these items were acquired, and that's because we would be here forever if I mentioned how I got them and how many times I died trying to get them. So I'll leave those details out. Besides, I'd be spoiling your fun if you wanted to play the game. With everything finally acquired, it's time to start this cable car. Finally, Jill! We did it! We're gonna make our way out of here. We're finally free. Okay, well, I guess we're trapped in this ditch now with this sandworm. I hope we don't run into him later. After climbing out of that literal hellhole, now we make our back to the cable car. Finally, Jill. We did it. We're gonna make our way out of here. We're finally free.
Jill, get out of the cable car now!
Mikhail, wait, don't!
Get out of here! Hurry!
Chapter 2. The Clock Tower. Yup. That sucker did it again. Now hold on a minute. I gotta backtrack a little. So I haven't really been talking about the live selections so far in this game. They're kind of like quick time events or Q2Es, only with the added fact that they can highly influence the game. I've already talked about one near the start of the first chapter. Some of these nemesis encounter ones don't really do too much, other than give you an arena to fight the monster himself. And high key, I do not got the mechanics for that. Where after you defeat him, you get a component, or a really handy item. These components can be combined into a powerful weapon that you may already have, such as the pistol or the shotgun. Yep, there was a fat chance I was going to have one of those. Okay. Well, now back to the live selection at hand. There's an opportunity to alter a couple of game-breaking things for this section. And it can be quite daunting as it can completely change the section's outcome, to the point where even I had to soft restart. These options are to either stay on the cable car or jump out. The way these options interact with the game's progression will initially land you at the courtyard of the clock tower or the bedroom of the clock tower. Progressing to the opposite side of each option will grant you the opportunity to stock up on that moolah. Not only you stock up on some ammo, but you also end up meeting my King Carlosito! Jeez, let me tell you, I was so relieved with finding that boy in one piece. Okay guys, chill. No. With Carlos alive, it was time to find out the solution out of this place. With only a few encounters. Other than the run-ins with the demon nemesis himself, this part of the game was my absolute favorite. The puzzles. So damn perfect. I felt like my engineer brain was being unrusted from years of brain rot and crappy memes. Ironic, because I'm using crappy memes to show how easy this game is. I know. The environment, peak. It's so damn eerie. And a little warm and inviting at the same time. Finally, the resources too. I already talked about ammo, but man! Herbs for days? A new weapon? And a guaranteed component in fighting Neme? Like, come on! This section of the game gives such a good feeling. Yes. Where you really start to feel that you can make an impact against fighting Nemesis. Speaking of Nemesis, it is in this section of the game where you will have no choice but to face that scary AF cringe lord of a monster on the courtyard of the clock tower. After completing a series of puzzles and acquiring a set of items to insert the Chronos gear into the clock tower, the bell rings and our plea of rescue is heard until he shows up. That crazy stars lunatic. I think you guys get the point, right? This guy just won't go away. He's like a glue that sticks onto you that you just can't shed off. But here's where the life selection thing comes into play. Depending on which option you had picked, he will fight you with or without his stupid dumb RPG. So yeah. Seeing as I'm not enough of a pro gamer, the option I went with had me fighting him with his RPG. So off with the soft reset I went. But boy did it feel great being able to defeat him in a proper 1v1. The sort of dopamine hit I got from beating him was something akin to like a Dark Souls boss or something like that. It just felt so damn satisfying, as he is one of the most scariest, most annoying damn enemies I've ever fought in any game ever. Alas, beating Nemesis comes with its cost on our Jill Valentine. She ends up being infected, where our goat, Carlosito, comes out like Game 6 MJ and saves the day with our budding protagonist. After laying Jill in the church, we set out as Carlos to the hospital, curing the cringe that Nemesis did to our goated protagonist. This section was also just so damn good too. Being able to use Carlos's machine gun just to absolutely tear down zombies just felt so great. I guess this is a bit of his ability to become a safe pillar in the game coming through in his gameplay, which was pretty neat to see. After doing a series of puzzles and fighting mobs, we get the antidote to cure Jill to get her in tip-top shape, to explore the park just beside the hospital, but not without added Nemesis beef to go on top of it. I thought the Soka was dead, bruh. Chapter 3, The Factory. Now I know I said that this section was called The Factory, but I wanted to include the park within this section of the video, just so each chapter could be fully balanced out with the amount of content covered. So, start with the park. Man, it was weird. You had these goofy AF snakes all over, and it felt like with me that there was quite a lot of backtracking. I went from either side of the park constantly, trying to figure out the next passage for the game. I'd say easily this part of the game was my least favorite. It was still great, but just felt kind of out of place, I guess, for me at least. The puzzles were interesting too. They felt quite, I don't know, static. It just didn't seem like they had depth to them. Other than a bit of trial and error, resource-wise, it was also not too bad, but got more ammo powder and some of the new weapon rounds. But other than that, it was kind of lackluster, honestly. We finally make our way back to the other side of the park, where we can finally begin our ascent into the factory and settle things. And oh my god, it just never ends. Please! After settling the dust with the sandworm from Doom, now we can head into the bridge that connects the park to the library. One small problem though. Yup. He's back. He's mad. Very mad. With this came another, I believe, a game-breaking live selection. I'm not too sure though, because I was quite alright with my choice already, and I didn't need to make a soft reset unlike the previous time. So the two options were to fight him straight on, and the other was to jump down. You can guess which option I took.
Fight! Fight!
This section was so much better than the park. The industrial aspect of the area just felt great to me, and we also had ammo for days. The puzzles were really fun too, except the you-know-which one. It really felt like I had grown into the star's mastermind that was Jill Valentine, hopping off to survive and live another day following the infection that has come down on Raccoon City. Coming to the end of this section, leading puzzles, and it was time to face off Nemesis for the final time. This was it. It was now or never. This fight was honestly kind of awesome. The way you fight him here, all the pent-up anger and resentment towards Nemesis, felt like it was finally coming to him after all this time. I won't say anything else, as this fight is something you just have to go out and play yourself. With that, a chopper with some guy that has significance to the RE series, I don't really know since I haven't replayed the other games, comes to rescue us. For both Jill and Carlosito Mamacita fly off into the sunset. Such a beautiful way to end the game.
Jill, look! Chopper's coming in! Yes!
Thanks, you saved us.
I couldn't let you die.
Is it you?
Are you ready to finish this?
Finale. Closing thoughts. Yup. That's how bad I did. No. I don't care. I did it. I beat my first OG Resident Evil game. Did it having fun. You see, the whole entire time, from complaining about the jank controls, trying to fight for my life with the scarce bullets, the boy, of course, Nemesis, and not even to mention the silly cutscenes of the game. I felt excited. I was having fun playing this old game from before my time. Areas, the ambiance, the music, the characters. I was so invested in this game. A game, to my standards, obsolete. A remnant of the past. A game that would be part of a crucial foundation for what's to come for us in the future and the ages beyond. Gaming didn't always have to be about who's getting 100 CS before 10 minutes. Or getting prio for the next Drake. Hell, even the toxic ADC in your game, running it down your lane because you didn't ping that your laner was missing. Didn't you though? Maybe the truth is, games as an art form wasn't starting to become a thing. It already was. Right from the beginning of gaming culture as we knew it. The fear that Nemesis would strike me, becoming so frustrated, constantly running from him, hoping that he would stop chasing you, but he wouldn't. He always knew where you were. If there's anything I took from that game, it was an art. An art of deception. How was it possible I could feel that way from that damn boss in this video game? So that's my take and understanding of this great game. Art can be found in the smallest things. The way how a monster can chase you down and make you feel like nothing. The way how controls absolutely suck and almost even physically pain you, leaving you in a near realistic situation on figuring out what to do when crap hits the fan. The way how certain characters can become a beacon of hope or a flash of terror. The way how you can finally feel after conquering small wins, growing from something small and weak, being someone you can finally stand for yourself. Maybe that's what real art is. The story that the game tells, 25 years later, isn't just something about a bunch of polygonic characters in a dated style fighting zombies. It's a story that fear never lasts. Only if you choose to let it consume you. You can overcome anything. That is something only a game over time could do. Thank you for watching my video if you've made it this far. I'm going off the script here, so I'm just essentially just speaking my mind, so this might take a few tries. Anyway, like, this video was a long time in the making. I completed RE3 about 3 months ago now at this point. Is now 1st of June, and I believe I finished it around the end of March, so maybe like 2 months. But look, I'm happy. I really wanted to make this video. Something that I believe like I could be quite passionate about. And I want to know what you guys think, you know, as a Gen Zer, like, playing old school games, it's like some people are into them, but I know mostly everyone's on the Fortnite / Apex / League / Valorant / Rivals hype train. I don't know if you could call it that. I'm probably missing a game too, so I'm sorry to some of you fans. I'll make sure to mention it in the next video. But anyway, yeah, thank you for watching me talk about video games. I'm really excited about this project, and I hope I don't take another 2-ish months, 3-ish months to make my next video. So yeah, thank you guys, And anyway, it's all good. Peace, guys. Love you all.